Hey investors, good to see you. This is Lucas here from xlwealth.com, and great that you joined in today. Because in today's video, I'm going to discuss if you as a starter in the real estate investing, should you be investing in student homes or in student flats or in student apartments, depending on where you live and how you call them. Is it a good choice, and how to calculate these numbers? Is it a good idea? Should you be doing them? And in today's video, we'll be running these numbers so that you can make your choice. Is it a good idea? Yes or no? And of course, I will be giving my advice in the end as well. Let's go into the video. Okay, so I've been investing for about 10 years now, and yes, I've also invested my money into student flats, or student homes, or student apartments, or whatever you want to call them. You get the idea. Let's not go into this again. Okay, so a student flat. If you take a look in a student city, a city that has a lot of students because there's a university around or a college, and there are a lot of homes that need students as well as their tenants. Now, I've always been talking about buying a property and then, renting them out to one family or, to one person, having one tenant. But if you take a look in student homes, in student cities, and, is this a good deal? And that's what we're going to discuss, because I'm looking for my pens here. Yes, these are quite interesting. Now, if you take in an average city with average homes, and, average city of average student cities, of course, if you take a look, you'll most likely have a property which is around 350,000. Now, for this calculation, I'm not going to use 350, I'm going to use 330. Now, this property is 330 because, it's easier for the calculation, because, I don't have a calculator with me and we got to do it on paper, so let's just make it a little bit easier. So, in a property like this, the moment you're going to do this, you have to have 30% down payment. And in this case, that's 110. Yes, I actually thought about it, because otherwise the calculation would be a little bit hard. And then, of course, you have 70% what you can take as a loan from the bank. Now, which is 220,000 in this case. And the question is here, now the moment you take on a mortgage for a home that you want to live in yourself, that's a personal mortgage loan here in the Netherlands, which is, somewhat around 1.2%. But this is seen as a business mortgage because, you're not going to live in it yourself, you're going to use it as an investment, but you're going to make money from this. And in this case, the mortgage percentage, the interest rate is around 3 to 4%. Yes, that's a huge difference. Now in this case, so if you take about 3 to 4% and you actually take on a loan for maybe, 25 years or maybe 30 years or maybe 35 years, on average, your mortgage here from that loan, from the 220,000, is somewhat around 900 euros, or in the dollars in this case, 900 euros per month. So if you watch my other videos, a personal loan is far cheaper because the interest rate is also lower. But in this case, we're talking about somewhat between 3 to 4% on interest rate per year. So your mortgage in this case is about 900 euros. Now, on average, when we take a look at these homes, 330,000, in general, it would get you somewhat of 3 to 4 rooms. So in this case, let's start with a calculation of 3 rooms. If you take a look in an average city, in an average student city, most cases, these student rooms will be around 400 euros per room. And this is 400 euros including water, electricity, and gas, and internet connection. And I'm not saying that's the best internet connection, but never mind that part. So you've got 3 rooms, and that actually generates you about 1,200 euros. Now, in this case, you might be thinking, oh, that's not too bad. That's still 300 bucks per month. Yeah, but you still have to pay for water, gas, electricity, which is around 100 bucks. And, you still have internet, and you want to have some, internet's maybe 50 bucks. And you want to have some insurances for yourself, which is about 200 bucks included. So that means all of a sudden, the 200 plus that one comes down to, oh no, sorry, I'm not that one. Yeah. I hope you can still follow it. It's the 200 bucks as a cost. You've got the 900 bucks that is the mortgage. This is what you get. That means you've got an income of plus 100 euros per month. Now you might be thinking, oh, only 100 bucks per month. And that's, after all the costs that I have to pay. So owning a student flat that just generates me 100 bucks per month, I don't know if that's a good deal. Well, I'll tell you this. This is still positive cash flow. Because think about it. They help you pay for all the costs in this home. And you still have money left at the end of the month. And the interesting thing is, they help you pay for this. That already means that you're already paying off all the costs that you have. Because in this mortgage that you're being paid off as well, they're helping you pay off the principal. They're helping you pay off somewhat around 5K per year. Because we're talking about a business loan. You're paying off about 5,000 euros of mortgage on interest rate, on the principal. So you've got 5,000 in equity growth. But the home also grows in equity, somewhat around 5% per year. And 5% per year on 330,000 is 16.5%. Sorry, 16.5. Sorry, it's $16,500 or euros in this case. So that means these three people who live in your home as a student flat, they're helping you gain 21,500 every year. And yes, you don't get that in your wallet. Yes, it's set in stone. I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but I'm tapping my hand on the wall because it's set in stone. They're paying off 20,000 euros to you in equity growth in your home, and you're still getting 100 bucks in your wallet. Is it a good return? Well, it's a positive return. Is it a huge return on investment? Maybe not, because you are putting in 110,000 euros to get, well, in this case, 1,200 euros per month. Sorry, per year. So you are getting money, you are getting positive cash flow, and you are taking care of all the insurances for yourself. But the real money is here. They're paying off. They're helping you grow your property in equity over time. The best idea, of course, is if you would have a fourth room. Now, the interesting thing is this. If you take a look in the average student homes, what they have is 3 bedrooms. They have a shared kitchen, they have a shared bathroom, and they have a shared living room. Now, the interesting thing is, this is what you see very, very often in investors and in student flat investors especially. They transform the living room into a bedroom as well. That's the interesting thing. Because in the end, if you're a student, how often do you really sit in the living room and watch TV together with all the roommates? Because in the end, most likely, you do like your roommates, but they're not your best friend always. Because, you picked the place. You didn't pick the roommates. You picked the home just because it was nearby your university building. You didn't pick the home because you thought ooh, there are 3 friends that I would like to live with. No, most likely you picked the room because of what price was good, location was good, and you needed a place to stay. And most likely there are not that many places to choose from as a student. So what happens very often is that, homeowners or landlords actually choose to transform the living room into a bedroom as well. And all of a sudden, there you have it, 4 rooms. And if you have 4 rooms, yes, you have another income. I'm grabbing a different color. Yes, I'm grabbing a different color. And all of a sudden, you don't have an income of 1,200. all of a sudden you have an income of 1,600. Well, there you have it. Each month you've got 500 left. And all of a sudden the whole calculation goes different. But you'll have to understand, the moment you do this, don't forget, there are different kinds of insurances. Don't forget, you have to take care. These are people who live in your home. They are from 3 or 4 different kinds of families. So there are far more things to take care of. You have to think about the insurance of every person. If you have one family living in your home, hey, it's only one contract that you've got running. If you have 4 people, you have to keep track of 4 people's contract. How long does this person live here? And yes, I get it that you don't really care about that, as a landlord, but you have to keep track of all the 4 people. And you're renting it out to 4 individuals, or it could be a couple, depending on how big your room is, of course. But you've got 4 different parties in one apartment, and that's a difference. And yes, if I go into that, we will take a very long time in this video. But for now, I think it's a very good idea to say, student flats, is it a good home? Is it a good idea as an investment? Well, if you do your calculations right, the answer is an absolute yes. And I hope that, this helped you to give you some insight into how to run the numbers and actually do the calculations right for yourself. If you liked the video, of course, don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. I thank you very much. Happy investing. See you on the next.